Hello everyone, my name is Yana, and on this channel I'm sharing the things I write. Today we are going to discuss one of the most interesting and crucial topics on the career of the writing. So I'm going to tell you before some little prehistory. I have been writing for all my life, and the only path that I was choosing was self-publishing. And I'm going to explain to you why. Now, we are living now in the age of internet, and things are working quite differently. If you have chosen for yourself to send the queries and admissions to lots of traditional major publishing houses, there is nothing bad with that. But what I saw for myself, for the circumstances of my life at that moment when I have completed my novel, the only way to make it all right and to transform my digital creation to the material form of the paperback was to go self-publishing. And I believe that many of the writers should really think that there is nothing shameful in self-publishing, that it does not make you less of the writer. And you really have to focus on the writing as the primary goal of everything that you're doing. Stop looking at all the blinks and lights around you. You are going to be guided and misguided so many times in your life, especially with your writing journey. So when I first decided to learn about marketing and self-promotion and creating the author platform and everything like that, surely just as each one of you, I have been faced with millions of pieces of advice, tons of videos on YouTube, lots of different recommendations, no's, don'ts, do's, lots of things of that. So what I have noticed is that you can actually categorize all these pieces of advice into 4 different categories. And I'm going to be really in detail going about each and every one of them. So the first thing that I faced on my writing journey was the necessity of creating your social media. And depending on writers, they all recommend different things. Some of them are really recommending you to be present everywhere. And I did follow that advice at the beginning, which totally spread me thin, and my energy was at absolute 0 level. I did not even want to create anymore. And I really found out that I'm going to be leaving behind one of them if I'm going to be focused on another. I wanted to be present on Instagram, on Twitter, on another social networks that are present nowadays. And what I found out that if I'm registered at each and every one of them and I'm trying to create a content, and you all know how time consuming that can be, sometimes I really physically can't follow up with one or another. If I'm focusing on creating a content plan on Instagram and creating beautiful images, which is Instagram is all about, I may forget even connecting my post with the Twitter, or they would not come out as I would love them to come out. Or if I'm going to be focused on creating lots of different beautiful images with links on Pinterest, I would normally and physically forget about the existence of another one. You just can't be present everywhere. That's not how the mind works. You can try and you can in some cases succeed, but do you need that? Do you need to live your life weary and tired and be always exhausted, and at the end of the day you're going to be even hating all these social media? What you really need to be is present in 1 or maximum 2 of them, where you can genuinely talk with your followers, when you can create an amazing content that people are going to be happy about. You are to be here on the social media to socialize, to talk with your readers, to explain to them the moments that they are puzzled about, to tell the little hints about your writing, maybe share some pieces of advice of your own experience, maybe share some skills, maybe you are an amazing editor along with being a writer, maybe you create lovely covers, maybe you are also skilled in lots of different things apart from writing, but you can possibly share it all in all the possible social media. So my recommendation for you, I know that would sound a little bit paradoxical, even though the video is called The Advice That I Wish I Would Have Never Taken, but still I'm giving you that advice. But I would love you all to know that having some great perspective to everything that you're doing without tearing yourself apart is a very important thing to decide for yourself as a writer, as the creator, as a person, really. So the second thing also really comes out of the first one naturally, is about having this author's platform. And platform, if you understand it as a concept, you would really get the idea that you have to be present everywhere, all over the internet. It can be Goodreads, it can be some writing portals, communities, book reading clubs. Sometimes writers want to go extra mile, and does it really have to be the case? Does it have to be that way that you don't even understand when you open your personal computer where you have to go, where you have to log in first to talk to the people? You have millions of notifications from totally different places, and all of them are requiring your constant attention. So that is the same advice that I would be given to you connecting with the social media. Be present in a couple of places maximum, where you can give your total attention, where you can talk to the readers, where you can socialize with the other colleagues, writers, where you can really be present. So this is the second part of it. Another thing is the number 3. Many people are thinking, and I will be really leading it out of the introduction to my video, that you are a writer only if you are traditionally published. I'm going to accentuate it once again, that we are living in another era, that now the internet has a significant power. And if you are working for some traditional institutions, you would understand that you are always obeying some, let's say, in quotes, higher forces, some bosses and people who are going to guide you, who are going to be really cutting some of your pie because they are needing to maintain their own business afloat. So you all have to understand that there is nothing wrong about going self-publishing or just making yourself on a platform, let's say like a completely free platform. If you are willing to do it that way, it does not make you less of the writer. Some people want to get that particular final destination, and they do not even think that they are writers before they hit that mark of being traditionally published, having that golden contract, or getting so famous that you would stand on the shelves all together with the famous writers like Stephen King or Joanne Rowling. You have to have dreams and goals, but do not really lower yourself. Do not make yourself less of a writer with the things that you have in your mind about traditional publishing. If you go in self-publishing, there is nothing shameful about it. Be proud that you can see your own work with so many opportunities and with such a little effort from your side. When you can just fill up the questionnaires, upload your work, fill in some couple of things that actually Amazon requires or Barnes & Noble, and you are getting your work printed all over the world. You can go to the libraries, you can go to lots of different shops basically. So do not really stress yourself with going all traditional. If sometimes it's the way of one writer, it may not